So, thank you all for being here today. And Clifton? I'm so sorry. Okay, here's Clifton.
Thank you, Angela. Clifton, Lisa, Greg, give it a round. Wow. I have to admit, this is a little nerve-wracking for me. I haven't been in front of this many people since I played. Okay, my name is Clifton Glidewell. Don't do that, please. A quick story. Yeah, a quick story. My background is in baseball. My trade is baseball. I had the opportunity to play the game at a very high level. I've had a chance to coach it at a high level, and now because of Nerium, I've had the opportunity to start umpiring it at a high level. How does Nerium enter into that equation? It allows me to resign from my public education job so that way I can do college baseball during the day. So that's really big for me. We got introduced to Nerium because our sponsor allowed my wife to try a bottle, and she didn't. She bought it while I was working, so keep that in mind. So the point is that she started using it, and I like sharing the story now. She's comfortable with me telling you this because early on she wasn't. But one night, like most husbands do, they tell their wives that, hey, you look great, let's go out. But then I exaggerated and said, no, really, you look hot tonight. And she's like, okay, I got it, thanks. Are you pregnant? Because she really did. She kind of had a glow going on about it, you know? And then she said, oh, by the way, this is what I'm doing. Well, like any self-respecting man, I'm certainly not going to say, well, I'm going to look into the space cream business. But I did. I started doing the research. I Googled, I Yahoo'd, I looked at the pros, I looked at the cons, because I've never done network marketing before. I had no interest in it. I lived through the 80s. I'm not going to tell you how old I was during the 80s, but I did live through it, and I heard my mother and father had a very negative connotation about it. Don't get involved in one of those things. I'm sure we've all heard something along those lines. As a matter of fact, as I went and helped my father on Thursday, he actually asked, how's that thing going? It's going well, Dad. The reason I tell you guys that is many years ago, I had a dream. When I was 12, I had this dream that I felt like I could play baseball at a high level as I was sitting the bench watching others play. When I got a college scholarship to go play at Maple Woods Community College, I told the head coach I was coming here anyway. If I didn't go to the Marine Corps, I just hoped to walk on. He signed something and said, here, I'll pay you for your next 2 years. Whenever I was at Maple Woods, I got this sneaking idea that maybe I could play it at the Division I level. And I got a chance to do that. So in my mind, I was living my dream. But then draft day came and I got drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now I really lived the dream. Whenever that was cut short, now what? I've been there, I've done that now, I've lived it. So I really hadn't dreamed anymore. Like any other man, you think family, you think providing a roof, put steak in the freezer. But I never really thought outside the box in the regard that there is something better than the status quo. The only problem is that society has too many doggone people with their hand out, that they don't want to earn it, they don't want to work for it. Well, I'm going to show you something that if you're willing to provide a little bit of your professional time, you can begin to start dreaming again. You can go on the vacation that you didn't think you'd be able to take your son or daughter on. You might be able to drive a car that I can tell you, for honest God, I wouldn't be able to drive that $64,000 ride that's free down there in front of the front door. Hi, how you doing? So, okay, now that we got the emotion out of the way, anti-aging industry. Whenever you go into Macy's, Nordstrom's, what is the first thing you see? Cosmetic. What's the other thing that's the big thing in cosmetics? Skin. What's the other thing? People want to look good. It's obviously topical creams, etc., to make you look younger and better. It doesn't make any difference to me. I was the guy that had shampoo run down his face and shaving cream 3 times a week. $80 billion growing to 114 in the next 3 years. Do the math. That's basically $1 billion a month. Anybody here making $1 billion a month? I wasn't either. 9 out of 10 relationship marketing companies are in beauty, and we've already touched on the fact that anti-aging is the first and number one. Yeah, I got it. Anyway, industry benefits, low startup costs. I can tell you that I have people on my team who are small business owners. I, for one, am as well, but not as big as theirs. And I'm telling you, and they would tell you, that if you own a franchise, chances are you will not begin your franchise and begin your business, not a hobby, for what we're going to talk about as far as the startup cost goes. Unlimited earning potential. Is anybody sitting in a cubicle thinking, well, I can't wait to get that 2.5% raise? Oh, maybe 1.5%? Okay, I get it. So yeah, none at all, exactly. No boss, no employees. What benefit is that? I hated micromanaging. I left public education. If you want to talk to me about it afterward, I'll be happy to tell you all about it. Tax benefits. Talk to your accountant about that, but I'm telling you, as what a buddy of mine told me a long time ago who owns a business down here at Overland Park, he says, Cliff, I do very well. And I'm standing in his palace of a house, and I'm looking at the ride he's got in the driveway, and he says, but on paper, according to the government, I'm a terrible businessman. How many people know who Jeff Olson before you got into this industry? Or before you got into Nerium? I didn't. The point I like to make here is because I didn't know who Jeff Olson is. I had to Google the guy. The reason I tell you that is whenever I went to a conference for the American Baseball Coaches Association, and I watched the guy I played for who was in Omaha this year. The College World Series, if you guys don't know what that means. Meaning that when he spoke hitting, he's the guru. If I had Albert Pujols up here and one of us was talking to hitting, you're not going to be listening to me. You're going to be listening to the guy making $20 million a year, or however much he's making. This is the guru, guys. The reason I can say that is in my research and talking to other people in the industry, it became very clear to me that if the gurus were going to listen to somebody to learn and get themselves better, this is the guy that was doing it. He's a best-selling author. I liked reading The Slight Edge mainly because the principle applies to my sport. It'll also apply to your business. The management team has over 150 years of combined experience, and the slide says record sales and growth in its first year. I can tell you that it was 3,900% in the first year. The sales topped over 100 million. Did you guys make 100 million last year? I didn't either. The Nerium Ripple. The reason I like to talk on the Nerium Ripple is because our sponsor, who introduced this to my wife, that got me looking into Nerium, I coached their son. I saw him when he was a runt as a freshman, and I watched him evolve into who is now a Division II college baseball player on a scholarship. The reason I say that is because his father, who is now a very dear friend of mine, has now told me about the ripple I've left in his son's life and their family's life because of baseball. I've had the opportunity to tell them now of the ripple that they have created in my family's life because of this company. Nerium Skincare, thank you. Nerium Skincare, 30% profits back to biotech. Nerium is funding that all. Success for Teens Foundation. What better way to give back than to start putting knowledge of business that I can tell you from being a public educator is not being done in the business classroom, and what this book can do. Partnership with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Guys, if you're not involved with it, I highly suggest it. The wife and I are investigating it. An 8-year-old kid is running us ragged, and we only have one. So, hey, you had, 18? Okay, maybe it was 6. But anyway, the point is, guys, is what better way to give back to an organization that does so much for kids who don't have enough. Real Life Library, guys, I didn't do anything as far as personal development. Personal development to me was get your rear end into the weight room. That was personal development to me. It had nothing to do with a positive energy. It had nothing to do with learning how to grow yourself before you grow business. It had nothing to do with bettering yourself to help your relationship with your spouse. The Real Life Library accomplishes that. Nerium gives back over $10 million in free product. I can't do math. I'm not a wizard, but I can tell you that I have a little chunk of change in that $10 million that they've given. Luxury trips. I'm going to Cancun next year. The Edge. The Edge is a, for lack of better terminology, is an avenue that Nerium places to its brand partners' disposal in order to grow your business. Okay? I'm trying to leave out the technical vocabulary simply because you wouldn't understand it unless you're in the business. That's not why we're here. We're here to tell you that other franchises pay hundreds and thousands of dollars per month to utilize their corporation's marketing materials, means to connect with client base. Thank you. $30 a month, Nerium mobile app. I have it on the iPhone. Access to cloud-based presentations. It's what we're using now. Online personal development library. We just talked about it. Message of the month. Guys, I can't tell you that whenever my Success magazine shows up, you get it Success, because we don't have a failure magazine, right? So they also have a CD in it that comes from Jeff, as well as from Success magazine, I guess we'd call it, that we just throw it into the CD. So now, whenever I'm driving somewhere, we get to listen to that now, as opposed to Mix 93 or whatever else nonsense is on there that I don't want my kid to hear. Sorry, guys, I just learned what twerking was. I apologize. Success for all ages. It's the Young Entrepreneur Program. Ages 18 to 24, these people are coming into Nerium at a 2-to-1 rate compared to anybody else, 24 or higher. So think about that. If these, in my mind, if these clowns are figuring it out, surely us educated ones can too, right? Okay. Empower young adults to create a dream future. I can tell you that when I was in college, I had a dream of playing professional baseball. It certainly wasn't to lead a multi-billion-dollar industry. And I was a business major. My job, in my mind, was to sit in a cubicle, rot, and make money to put a roof over the head of my family and steak in the freezer. I've told you that already. The reason I keep harping on it is because there is something more. So how do I share the experience? Best marketing kit in the industry. The only difference between the two prices of $500 and $1,000 is the amount of product that you receive. 12 bottles in the $1,000 pack. Forgive me, I'm not Pele. And 5 bottles in the $500 pack. However, I like to also touch on, is that it? Through the Nerium Gives Back program, which we're going to touch on, if you do your job right, which most of us do, these are the only bottles you'll ever have to pay for. Free inventory. Let that register a little bit. Only company in the industry doing it. Nerium Gives Back is basically the program of when you sign up a customer, the company's going to give you a free bottle in their second month auto delivery. Whenever you sign up a brand partner, same thing, they're going to replenish your inventory. When they do the same thing, I'm not going to get technical, but whenever those people do the same thing, your inventory gets replenished as well as theirs. Are you starting to see the math in this? Are you starting to put some things together as, wow, this can really be something big, and I don't have to take care of the tab for it. The roadmap to Lexus. We're going to talk about some of the incentives that the company does for us. I've already told you that I got a nice ride downstairs. But more importantly, a program of Fast Start Qualifying. Whenever you come into the business, we're not making life-changing money. I got a laser. But if you do what you're supposed to, like the company asks, you're getting free product, 6 bottles. Is that right? Yeah, 6 bottles. Signed up 3-part, help them Fast Start Qualify. You've earned a little bit of chunk of change. But now we help those people do the same thing. Now you've earned an iPad. What better tool? What better tool? What better tool than to show somebody before and after pictures? Because there is nothing better in our business than to look at somebody and see, here's the before, here's the after. Which one do you think is younger? Which one do you think is older? And then tell them, oh no, actually the younger looking one is the one that is actually taken just a little bit ago. Whenever you help the 3 people qualify for an iPad, now you've earned enough volume. We're starting to make some zip code changing money. Not really, but you can see the path that we're going. You're also driving a nice ride. The reason why we focus on this is because if you do what you're supposed to, and you follow the principle that we discussed in that Slide Edge book, guys, I'm telling you, business will continue to grow. When it grows, it multiplies. And when it multiplies, you get to drive really cool rides. Fast Start, we've already touched on. I'm not going to really harp on the builder bonus. All I can tell you is that whenever you do your job correctly and you sign up your 3 brand partners that want to enter the business together that you want to help, that you're not going to stop. You're also going to continue to tell friends about it, and they're going to think that they can make money with it, and you're going to help them make money with it. That's going to create a builder bonus leg. You're going to earn an additional $250. Help them do what we're supposed to anyway and fast start qualifying to get them on their roadmap to Lexus. And believe it or not, you're going to make an additional $250 for those first 3. So you've been doing what you're supposed to do. The company is going to give you bonuses of up to $1,000 for that person. Pardon me. The reason that is important, guys, is because that's on top of the normal compensation plan. Remember the word bonus, guys. It's one of 13 ways that we get paid in this company. These are all people that are obviously living the Nerium experience, living the Nerium dream. I'm not on that one, but I'm smiling. Whenever you reach Lisa's level, and Mindy's level, you begin to start earning cash incentives, definitely executive level bonuses of $25,000 up to $1 million. There are people in this company at its young age who have already earned the $1,500,000 bonus. Guys, I can't tell you how much emotion is behind the driving force of getting my wife home. The reason I tell you that is because if I do my job right, not only will she get to come home, but now all of a sudden we start earning bonuses like that. And I get to ride in the truck with my father when he asks me, how's that thing going? It's going pretty well. Nerium first, like we touched on, over $100 million in its first year of full year business. 3,900% earned us the Bravo Growth Award. We are the youngest company to ever make the Direct Selling News Top 100 Global Companies list. We were number 86. Nerium gives back $10 million in free product. We were the youngest company featured in Direct Selling News, the industry watchdog. 2 times we have been featured on the cover of Success from Home magazine. The reason for it is because the editors have figured out we know what we're doing, and we're doing it quickly. The ship is pulling out. We hope that you're on it. First time ever in the inaugural issue of Beautiful You magazine. The last thing I'm going to touch on is this. I'm not from California. I didn't go to school for public speaking. I am real. I'm from Kansas City North. I'm not going to give you some cliche of like if I can do it, you can do it. No, it takes hard work. But guys, the one thing I can tell you is this. I don't sit in a cubicle. The only way I get micromanaged is if I do something wrong to her. Or if I don't do a load of laundry and then I turn something pink. But the point is this. Guys, I'm thinking bigger. My little 8-year-old son is thinking bigger. And guys, it wouldn't be a bad thing if you guys started thinking bigger too, because you deserve it. I'm Clifton Glidewell. Thank you.